What up, what up, what up, doe? Head Ass Elementarians. Abbott Elementary keeps dropping new episodes, so we're going to keep bringing you Easter eggs, references, and details you otherwise might have missed. The latest episode is Season 4, Episode 11, Strike. And it's when the scepter workers are going on strike. And it's not just causing problems for the city. You know it's going to cause problems for our Abbott Elementary crew as well. So, let's get to it because you may think you know, but you have no idea. Right out the gate, and not even right out the gate, even before the gate, from the 0th second of the episode, we already got a callback to Season 3, Episode 12, Winter Break. For those who didn't watch it, there was a major event that happened that was kind of like the crux of that whole episode. And Melissa and Barbara were both there. And it turns out that Barbara's been telling this story all around town. So much so that she forgot who she told it to. The episode opens with Barbara telling Melissa a story that happened at her own party. Get it together, Barb. Right after that, but really at the same time, we see Barbara going for one of her weekly manicures. In the same shot, we see that Barbara and Melissa are going out for one of Barbara's regular manicure maintenances. She does these every week, and we learned that in Season 1, Episode 2, Light Bulb. In a blink and you'll miss it detail, that really is Alicia Vitarelli. She's a Philly weather woman. Don't believe me? Check the credits. This here is just a sad fact of life. Nobody answers calls from numbers that aren't already in their phone. And honestly, sometimes we don't answer calls from numbers in our phone because we don't want that smoke. It's also the best way to avoid scams and spam. Roll credits! They said the name of the episode in the episode. This is also a callback to last episode showing the start of the Sparta strike. So this episode continues the tradition of the running gag of Janine having big feet. In the last video, I pointed out how it's been 4 seasons about Janine having big feet, yet we haven't actually seen her feet. I know, right? I sound like I got some kind of fetish or something. Seems like Melissa and Jacob learned something that we all already know. Roommates suck. The sad part is, they did so well in the beginning. Gregory's finding out something I found out a long time ago. You can be 100% right and 100% hated. At this stage, everybody's just like, who cares? Once again, we see a really good example of Ava just not being good at her job or just not caring enough to be good at her job. But we know this also eats Gregory up inside because he was trained specifically to be a principal. Also, her boss would be the superintendent, but he's not there. Poor Mr. Morton. Everybody dumps on him, even Jacob. This is also a callback to last season where we found out he was going through a divorce with his wife. Check out Season 3, Episode 11, Double Date, where we find out he's also kind of misogynistic. I feel like this was a shot right at me. I grew up with 9 planets, and if Pluto's a dwarf planet, why isn't it on the board with all the other regular planets? When I was coming up, we learned the acronym or the euphemism, my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. If Pluto's not a planet, what does she serve us? Nothing? That just makes her a bad mom. Okay, I feel like this happened in real life, but I don't know the reference that is referencing. So, if you do know, put this down in the comments below. But also, what the hell, Philly? First, y'all kill Hitchbot, and now y'all taking out Santa? Actually, I'm okay with that. You know I hate Santa. We learn in season 1, episode 4, that Melissa had an uncle who was a part of a legendary Philly strike. So the Shemintis are deeply ingrained in the strike culture of Philadelphia. No wonder she's so invested. Brandon is the ringworm kid from episode 2. I'm just glad that they didn't let being the dirty ringworm kid be his legacy. Just glad to see he's doing better. Although, if you look closely, the other kids still do have a ring formed around him. Okay, so Jacob's brother Caleb is an influencer, so it's understandable why he would be into stuff like manifesting in this way. These kids don't know how good they have it nowadays. I had to walk to school twice a day in the rain, 15 miles and uphill, both ways. And you didn't see me complaining. Brandon has a really good point though. So we're back into the real-time episodes, which means that this will be taking place in January. January in Philly, the sun is already low in the sky at 4 p.m. So if the elementary gets out around 3 p.m., Brandon really could be walking to home in the final stages of sunset, maybe even in the dark. That's not safe. Ava telling Gregory that being a lunch lady was a promotion is priceless and on brand for Ava. The hardest thing I've ever watched Gregory Eddie do on camera was try to make friends with Shanae after Jacob had introduced him to her. I mean, did we all forget this moment? This was in season 2, episode 21, Mom. It was literally cringeworthy. I'm glad to see they're on good enough terms now to be testing each other though. Although it's usually touted out as a silver bullet solution, unfortunately technology doesn't solve all problems, as we're going to see very, very soon. You gotta have infrastructure in place and a lot of coordination from both sides. Oftentimes, to quote the Abbott Elementarians themselves, it's ass. Come on, y'all. Stealing Wi-Fi is so on brand for the Abbott Elementary crew. And for Jacob to have the unmitigated gall to say the guy should upgrade is just... I love it that Ava is giving Oshan a real shot. I wonder what they text about though, because I feel like she really should have known this. Girl, don't we know it? I was surprised they got this line in. I know we just had the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crew and the whole line about Barbara eating ass. I didn't think that they would get this line in on this episode. So if I'm the proof, let me know down in the comments below. Corporate VPNs and cloud technology enabled many people to be able to the ability to remotely work and learn from home. Unfortunately, not everyone's job can share in those kind of benefits, as Mr. Johnson just pointed out. So, does that mean that these benefits are unfair? Is this an incentive to get a better job? I just make YouTube videos. She already had the most upgraded computer, and now we find out she had the most upgraded networking as well. It's not surprising to find out, but it is hilarious to also know. I love her quip here. I feel like this is what they be texting about. I know I would melt if I was on the receiving end of a text message like that. Not growing up with remote learning available, I'm told these scenes are very triggering for those who had to learn during the pandemic era. And if this is anything like what it was, I get it. Samuel better hope that he doesn't have to virtually see the nurse because that was a sick barber burn. Mr. C gets no respect. I feel like this was a callback to the COVID era lawyer that turned himself into a cat during a trial. I think little Lila has gotten a little bit more than her fair share of Janine's can do attitude. Janine makes corny jokes. That's the running gag. I love it that Gregory was able to get the goofballs together even when they couldn't be together. And Gregory getting burned from long distance is the definition of radiation. So in this episode, Gregory is about 29, while Tyler James Williams, his actor, is actually 32 when they filmed this. And those of us who don't have fresh ACLs know exactly what O'Shawn was going for. Gregory's youthful spirit may be just enough to turn the tides of victory in O'Shawn's favor. Gregory Eddy is the son of Lieutenant Colonel Martin Eddy, and we see in previous episodes that military hierarchy was kept in Gregory's household. Gregory is no stranger to early morning PT. I hope he doesn't have to see the nurse virtually. Um, y'all think Charlie got a crush on little Lila? Let us know down in the comments below. Puppy love. The practical among us was already peeping that Janine had forgot to figure out the most important part of the plan. Getting the kids home. I bet y'all forgot about that, didn't you? See season 2, episode 7, attack ad. I didn't really think they was going to do anything else with her commercials driver license, but it's good to see that they put this back into the episode. Big credit to Riley Dufarina for writing this in. Mr. Johnson, I love you like a virtual surrogate father, but you will catch these hands over some minestrone soup. Season 1, Episode 4, New Tech, establishes that Barbara is not good with technology, except for when Melissa teaches her to use AI to ignore Jacob in Season 3, Episode 9, Alex. She might be the slowest reader, but she's shown time and again she is quickest on the uptake. Lisa Ann Walters does some amazing physical acting here to show you Melissa working this out in real time long before Jacob or Barbara ever do. Revelations is the last book of the Christian Bible, and also an exclamation that Barbara shouts out once something has been revealed to her. See the connection? Won't There It Is was a major hit in the 90s. It brought booty bass from the southern cultures all throughout America for black people. It even transcended black radio stations to become hits on top 40s and other mixed genre radio stations. They even had a COVID era Geico commercial. Sprinkles! I didn't see any hate for this, but a lot of females were asking questions about why Gregory, who loves Janine, wouldn't let her come to see him do his hoop thing. And as a guy, I can say there are sides of me that you don't want certain people who are intimately familiar with you to see. Gregory Eddy is a very cool, calm, and collected. Let me sit up straight to talk more about this. Cool, calm, and collected, a very straight-laced kind of person. He probably doesn't want her to see this intense and aggressive side of her. Don't believe me? Check it out in the post-credit scene. You probably haven't been watching TV long if you didn't expect the solution to pop right out of thin air. It might have surprised you that it was. This is the same party bus from season 3, episode 11, Winter Break. We all thought that Ava had rented it because that's what normal people do, but as we learned in this episode, Ava doesn't rent anything. It's actually something like a timeshare, but for party buses. I can't tell if these are the same girls from season 2, episode 10, Holiday Hookah. I looked through the credits on both episodes to see if Sydney was named in either one. She's not, by the way. And then I actually looked at both crowds of girls to see if there's any similarities and overlap. Honestly, I can't tell. Ava has a lot of friends, so maybe these are more of them. I'm here for the jaggery. Absolutely. I love that throughout the season, the writers choose moments like this to showcase their love. It's done in the subtext. I love how once Janine starts getting that Janine look on her face, Gregory is right there with her without saying a word. He knows exactly what's going through that Janine mind of hers. And I think this is really a great way to showcase the strength of their love and their relationship. I know a lot of y'all aren't here for it, but I am. Go Jaggery. Alright, y'all. This took me right back to my childhood. There was a whole summer in the 90s where you could not get away from the Venga Bus song, We Like to Party. That's what it's called. It was on Six Flags commercials. It had the dancing old white guy and everything. It was always on the radio and more at restaurants. Ugh. Way to give fan service to kids who grew up in the 80s and 90s. Riley Dufarena. Word, this really was best case scenario for some happy-go-lucky tryhard playing a novelty bus tone at 6 in the morning. I might be tripping, but I feel certain that Janine's Magic School Bus hair accessories is a direct callback to the Magic School Bus driver, Miss Frizzle from the 90s. Let's know. Let's talk about it down in the comment section. Alright, this is moments where people like me shine because we learn a lot if you just pay attention a little bit. Abbott Elementary serves breakfast, hopefully free, to its students starting at 7:30 a.m. School officially starts at 8 a.m. Assuming they have 7 hours of learning and 1 hour for the whole school to go to lunch, that means that school gets out round about 4 p.m. That means Brandon, the ringworm kid, made a smart choice leaving school early if he knows he has to walk home and not be walking home in the dark. Way to go, Brandon. Or, way to go, Jacob, for being such a good teacher. The Shemintis take strike life seriously, so of course Melissa got up early just to make sure Janine wasn't going to be a scab and cross that line. Get it? Because O'Shawn is IT? New tech always promises to usher in a new age of utopia. VPNs and cloud tech was supposed to let us work and learn from home. For many, that never happened. From rural areas getting left out of the promises of 5G and fiber internet to latchkey kids like Chloe getting left behind in remote learning, there's many that don't get to experience the utopia that tech has a chance to bring in. It's great when you're one of the haves, but what do you do when you're one of the have-nots? I just make YouTube videos. Can someone please call the nurse? Hopefully she's not working remotely today. It's a series running gag. That and the big feet. For those who don't pick up on details, Melissa just spells it out. And there's no shame. There's no shame. I'm told everybody notices things at their own speed, I guess. Well, little dude, you might be excited to learn that some of us become firemen to put ourselves through college when we get older. Yeah, yo girl, O'Shawn. I mean, seriously, what do these two be texting about? And you can tell that Gregory is closer to Ava than he is O'Shawn, because my man ain't say nothing about it. He knew what was going on. He knows how she gets down. Ha! For making that ass clap. I love how this pays off. Those of us who makes a good plan immediately saw the flaw in Janine's. Those who didn't, though, got an awesome punchline. But what about tomorrow, though? Is she going to do this every day until the strike's over with? Because the strike is still going on. Sorry to break it to you, Gregory, but Steph Curry ushered in the era of snipe basketball. Literally everyone on the court is expected to hit threes from way downtown now. We even got centers draining it from way, way deep. Karl Anthony Towns has over 1,000 points in three-pointers alone. That is how the game is played. Told y'all so. Alright, y'all, that's Easter eggs, references, and details you probably missed in Season 4, Episode 11, Strike. As always, if you saw something that we didn't, let us know in the comments down below. If you think we went too far with some of our theories or things that we mentioned, let us know down below. Abbott Elementary airs every Wednesday on ABC. Till next time, Head Ass Abbot fans.